You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Young and the Restless fans, I've got your weekly prediction edition. We're going to talk about summer clawing, Audra getting exposed, and Amy getting some really bad news. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and if you're not following us, please click that subscribe button. We have got predictions for Amy and Nate, for Audra, for Summer and Kyle, for Duma and Nikki, and for Lily and Damien. Let's dive right in. Our very first prediction: Amy's cancer gets worse during sweeps. And I even hate to say this, but it is sweeps. So Nate, of course, finally got Amy to agree to treatment for her leukemia, and Nate brought in Dr. Kelly, that oncologist from Chicago. She took Amy up to Chicago, or over to Chicago, however the geography works, got her into treatment, and Nate and Damien went along, and now Amy's back in town. And I've noticed in a lot of chatter, by the way, that fans really hate the wig they have Valarie Pettiford in. I guess I didn't pay that much attention to the bad wig because I thought they were just trying to make her look rough because she is in chemo, you know, because she has no makeup, no color in her face. They're really trying to make her look sick. So anyway, next week, spoilers on Y&R, Nate's got some news to deliver to Amy and Damien about how Amy's treatments are going. I mean, optimistically, I hope it's going well, and that's what Nate says, but realistically, because May Sweeps kicks off on Thursday, I am girding my loins for some bad news about Amy. Nate reports to Damien and Amy what was said when Dr. Kelly called with an update. That comes on Wednesday, the day before sweep, so that could automatically just carry right over into the next day. So Nate may be delivering bad news that the treatment isn't working as well as they hoped. You know, Amy put off getting treatment for a while, and I don't know about you guys, most of you probably know someone with cancer in your life. There's somebody in my life right now with cancer, and when treatment gets put off, you know, then the window starts to close, and it's really complicated, and it's really sad. And it's kind of rough seeing these storylines when you do have somebody in your family that's sick. And I hope that if you do have somebody in your family that's sick, that they are doing well. So even if Nate reports that things are going well for Amy, I still suspect we may see a downturn during sweeps, and then hopefully a pivot, or they tweak the treatment or something, and Damien's mom begins to improve again. And with leukemia, I know that they can do a bone marrow transplant, and, you know, Damien is related, so maybe that'll be the 11th hour save. And I do love Valarie Pettiford, so I hope they don't kill her off as Amy. I love the actress. If you've not seen her on the AMC show Discovery of Witches, she is fantastic. Our second prediction: Audra is in over her head with Victor, and she may get busted. So we all know Victor knows how to manipulate people, women in particular, and he just worked his wicked magic on Audra, dangling the offer of her getting to run a Newman division if she did his dirty work for him. She thought she was being smart by pushing back on Victor and insisting she wanted her own company. And then Victor called to talk to Audra about some cosmetics company she's interested in, and he's basically got it all set up to acquire it for her once she gets Kyle out of Claire's life. And Nate was with her, and she had to lie to him. And then the other day, Audra was talking to herself, asking why can't things ever be easy for her? And I think part of the reason is because she makes bad choices and gets involved with bad men like Tucker and with Victor again. But that's also, you know, just a red flag. This thing is not going to be easy for Audra either. You know, Victor wants this done. He doesn't care how she does it. And Audra, I think, just doesn't realize that she's in over her head with this deal and with Victor. She thinks she's got it handled, and she thinks she can get her dream job, get a little revenge on Kyle, and still keep Nate. All of that. And it's not going to go that way. This week on Friday, Lily is grilling Audra about something. And of course, Nate's Lily's cousin, and she may be looking out for him, making sure Audra isn't going to hurt him. Now, Lily may be approaching Audra about Holden, you know, which would actually be the less troublesome thing. But Lily may catch Audra getting a little too close to Kyle and call her out on it. And, you know, if that happens, obviously Lily would run right over and tell Nate what happened. So she needs to be careful. Our third prediction, Summer makes a desperate move. Summer and Chance are broken up because he sees she's still way too focused on Kyle. The thing is, her ex-husband has no interest in being with her, and this reminds me of Phyllis when she was so fixated on Danny when he made it clear he wanted Christine. Phyllis can't take no for an answer and kept stalking him and throwing herself at him, and it feels like Summer is just headed down that same road, just like her mom. So this week, after a talk with Nikki and Victoria, Claire is thinking more about moving in with Kyle, and Victoria is kind of worried about that because she knows her dad Victor will lash out. But Nikki dived in and told Claire, follow your heart. So if Claire and Kyle do decide to move in together, Summer's going to hear about it, obviously, and she may panic. She wants Kyle back, so she needs to think fast and do something if she's going to stop their plan to move in together. And Summer may turn around and run and tattle to Victor about Claire and Kyle and what they're doing. Victor will lose it, and that may be a jumping off point for Summer and Victor to conspire. And Victor might even tell Summer about his plan with Audra and hook Summer up with Audra so that they can team up. This could be really wild and just in time for sweeps. Our fourth prediction, Duma crashes Nikki's party. So very soon, Victor begins planning an epic birthday bash for Nikki. It's going to take place in May, but between now and then, in April sweeps, we're going to meet Pietro, a new character played by Jay Rodriguez from Queer Eye. He's going to be the party planner. The planning starts in April. Party for Nikki is in May, like during or right towards the end of May sweeps, maybe right after. And everybody is going to be there for it. So it's the perfect time for Mystery Man Duma to creep into town and make a very big splash. So I actually think this will be great if he showed up at Nikki's party and threw down the gauntlet at Victor, challenged him, and let the mustache know he's going to destroy him. And of course, Victor would be furious if Duma wrecked Nikki's big day. And this could also be the chance for the new guy coming to town to finally meet the Winters and Damien and Billy Abbott face to face. And he could also meet some other people that might be good to have in an alliance, like Jack and Diane, among other people. Our fifth and final prediction, Lily is going to get closer to Damien, maybe, or it could be his boss, Duma. So it's really bothering her brother Devon that Lily finds that she increasingly likes and trusts Damien and that the guy has opened up to her and they've had some meals and all that. But Duma is coming to town. We're going to find out his real name and identity soon and why he has such an interest in Billy, Lily, and others that all seem to have in common grudges against Victor. So we have this April spoiler that Lily has a secret admirer, but that doesn't align with Damien because he's not a secret at all admirer. He has made it quite obvious that he's into Lily, so I feel like the guy we're waiting to see as her admirer is not Damien, and it could well be Duma, which could set up a whole thing where Damien has to fight for Lily, which would impress her, especially if he has to take on his boss Duma to win Lily's heart.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.